Today I'm going to show you how to make an easy apple crumble recipe, and it's a traditional apple crumble. Yes, many chefs seem to think nowadays that you've got to try and reinvent the wheel and change things and faff too much, but I want a traditional apple crumble just like I was used to when I was a small child. And this recipe is one that's lasted generations because I actually got it from my cookery teacher at school. But you are going to be given the most delicious homemade apple crumble recipe. Now, to make this wonderful and I think the best apple crumble recipe, you're going to need one of these. It's a food processor. I like using this because it really does get that lovely crummy breadcrumb texture. But don't worry if you do not have one, because you can use the method that I used at school, and I still do sometimes when I'm too lazy to get this out of the drawers, out of the cupboards and everything else. So you literally just use a rubbing in method, which is getting a nice big bowl and then taking the flour and the butter and just lifting your fingers up, real light, cool fingers, and just breaking that butter into the flour. So don't worry if you don't have a food processor, but we do have one here today. And what we're going to do first of all is we've got some plain flour here. So we're going to pop in 160 grams of that. And then you're going to take in 110 grams of cold cubed butter. It has to be cold. Even if you're doing the rubbing in method, make sure it is properly cold. Then what you're going to do is place the lid on and you're going to blitz it until it resembles fine breadcrumbs. Then turn it off and just take the lid off this food processor, and it turns into like a real sandy sort of texture. Then we're just going to finish off by adding 60 grams of demerara sugar and 60 grams of ordinary sugar, which is like the sugar that you pop in to your tea and your coffee. Then pop the lid on the food processor again, and then just give it a quick whiz for a few moments. So when you are ready to start cooking your apple crumble, preheat your oven to 180 degrees centigrade fan so that you're ready to start baking it. Now, I promised a tip or two. The first tip I want to give you is that you can make these into individual portions. However, the recipe does make for a giant family-sized one. Now, you're probably thinking, well, I don't want to go to all this trouble and waste any of the remaining crumble topping. And this is my tip. My husband and I, we live at home quite a lot on our own now, and the boys come, and when they come, they start raiding the fridge and everything else and eat me out of house and home. But when it's just us two, we don't want to sit eating a massive apple crumble on our own, very tempting as it is. So I tend to make them in individual portions. Now, you could make an individual portion and put the whole thing in the freezer, but what I like to do is I like to put any remaining crumble mixture here in my reusable freezer bag. And what I do is I pop that in, pop it in the freezer, and then the next time I want to make an apple crumble or a bramble crumble or a rhubarb crumble, I just take this out, and it probably takes about maybe 15-20 minutes to sort of defrost and then use. It is a fantastic idea. In fact, even if you love batch cooking like I do, you could make double this portion and then just do exactly the same and portion it up. I think it's a great way, and of course it does help with the old food waste. So today is an apple crumble, and I've been given strict orders by the husband that we are not going to make it fancy schmancy. No, it's going to be a plain apple crumble. Again, in the base with the apple, you could put things like blackberries, you could put things like some cinnamon in there, you could put some raisins, but I'm under strict orders, so apple it is. I do this at the very, very, very last moment because apples have a tendency to go brown, although you can pop them in some lemon juice and water to stop them colouring. So I'm just going to take the skin off first and remove that. Take that to one side, fling it over there, and then I just take slices of apple And then in my ramekins, I just put a layer of this. My husband loves the apple crumble when it is quite tart at the bottom and sharp and not too sweet. But if you fancy it a little bit sweeter, you could just put a sprinkling there of some sugar just to help it. But I'm under orders, just the way he likes it today. So about 1 apple if you're doing a couple of individual portions, but if you are making, say, the big family-sized one, you would probably need about maybe 2 to 3 good-sized cooking apples. So you can see that the apple layer is there. I've left them quite chunky. Again, he doesn't like it when he says it sort of goes into baby food. And then on the top, we are just going to put some good layering of this crumble. He loves a nice thick layer of apple crumble, as do I. And then, like I said, any remaining crumble goes in the old bag for another day. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell button so that you get more of my recipes in the future and know where this one came from. Big thank you to all my subscribers. I love you. Then all that remains to be done is to pop these in the oven. I like to put them on a baking tray because very occasionally, especially with crumbles, they just have a tendency to ooze and bubble up and you get some of the fruit. And that way, when you've got a baking tray, you haven't got it all over your oven. You need to cook these for around about half an hour, sometimes 35 minutes, but you'll know when they're cooked because they're crisp, golden, and utterly delicious. The worst bit about this, it's waiting for it to cool down when it comes out of the oven. But I've got my mascarpone and my apple crumble. Husband's got custard. Other people like single cream. Some like ice cream. How are you gonna eat yours? All I know is I'm gonna darn well enjoy it.
The full written recipe is on my website, cookingwithemily.co.uk.